The Cowboys just made a roster move that no one saw coming, and it changes everything about their 2026 season. What if I told you the Dallas Cowboys just silently cut a wide receiver, signed 2 brand new unknowns in the same week, and their own fans don't even know it happened yet? By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this move either saves Dallas' season or destroys it. Stay with me. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel covers every single NFL move before the mainstream media even picks it up. And today, Cowboys fans, buckle up. We are breaking down the Dallas Cowboys' shocking wide receiver room shakeup of 2026, every cut, every signing, every hidden detail, and what it all means going into training camp. This is a 4-hour deep dive. We're covering everything. The players, the money, the drama, the futures. Let's start with the guy who quietly walked out the door. Jalen Tolbert. Cowboys fans love this man. He was the WR2 in 2024, career year, and then 2025 happened. George Pickens came to town via trade, Ryan Flournoy started rising, and Tolbert slowly became invisible. By the time free agency opened in 2026, the Cowboys let him walk. No offer. No extension. Nothing. He signed a 1-year deal with the Miami Dolphins. Just like that, a guy who had 700+ yards in 2024 was gone. Now here's what's crazy. Tolbert didn't leave because he was bad. He left because the Cowboys had too much at receiver and not enough cap space. That's a Cowboys problem we're going to talk about for the next hour. But first, who exactly is Jalen Tolbert, and why should Cowboys fans feel the way they feel right now? Tolbert came into the league as a 3rd-round pick in 2022. He was raw. He was quiet. He wasn't the guy anyone hyped. But slowly, quietly, he became reliable. He ran clean routes. He didn't drop passes. He was Dak Prescott's safety blanket in crucial moments. 2024 was his breakout, nearly 700 yards, solid YC numbers, the kind of receiver who makes a quarterback's life easier. Then 2025 hit, and the Cowboys brought in George Pickens from Pittsburgh. Pickens was a monster. 1,429 receiving yards, 3rd in the entire NFL. And just like that, Tolbert became the odd man out. Ryan Flournoy, a 2024 6th-round pick, started showing why Dallas drafted him. The Cowboys saw the future, and it wasn't Tolbert. So they moved on. Is that fair? Absolutely not. Is it football? 100% yes. We're going to break down every single stat, every snap count, every target, and you're going to understand exactly what Dallas lost and whether the Dolphins got a steal. Now here's a story nobody's talking about enough. Parris Campbell is done. Retired. Just like that. Cowboys signed him, he gave them what he had, and then he walked away from the game. For those who don't know Parris Campbell, this guy was a 1st-round pick for the Indianapolis Colts back in 2019. A blazing speed receiver out of Ohio State. But injuries haunted him his entire career. Hamstrings. Knees. You name it, Parris dealt with it. He finally found some stability late in his career, bounced around a few teams, landed in Dallas, and then decided enough was enough. His retirement opens up a roster spot, and that spot is now being fought over by a group of guys you probably haven't heard of yet. But you're going to know every single name before this video is over. Okay, so Tolbert is in Miami. Campbell is retired. Who did Dallas bring in? This is where it gets interesting. Within the same week, the Cowboys signed 2 wide receivers off the street. First, Romello Brinson. Now stop laughing. I know you've never heard of him. But listen, this kid is cousins with Chad Ochocinco. That's Chad Johnson. One of the greatest receivers in NFL history. And Brinson played at SMU, transferred from Miami, and has bloodlines that suggest there's athletic DNA in that family. He's a project. He's a gamble. But the Cowboys clearly saw something. He originally signed with the Miami Dolphins, changed his mind, and landed in Dallas. In training camp, he's going to have to fight for everything. But the upside is real. Second signing, Jaden Smith. Former Buccaneers receiver. Not the actor, not the rapper, the wide receiver. He went undrafted, got a shot with Tampa Bay after a minicamp tryout, got injured in training camp, spent his entire rookie season on IR, got waived in April, and now Dallas is giving him a lifeline. He played at Montana State, transferred, ended up at Nevada, put up 62 catches for 849 yards and 7 touchdowns in his final college season. Elite production. Question is, can he do it in the NFL? Cowboys are betting he can. Training camp is going to be his trial by fire. Now let's talk about the full picture. The Cowboys WR room in 2026 from top to bottom. WR1, CeeDee Lamb. No debate. No conversation needed. 7-time All-Pro. $34 million per year. The best receiver in the NFC. He is untouchable and undeniable. WR2, George Pickens. On the franchise tag at $27.3 million for 1 year. 1,429 receiving yards in 2025. Third in the entire NFL. He's elite. He's angry about not getting a long-term deal. An angry George Pickens is dangerous George Pickens. But here's the thing, the Cowboys and Pickens both say they want to stay together. He signed the tag. He showed up to mandatory minicamp. Dak Prescott loves throwing to him. This is a partnership working in real time even if the contract future is uncertain. WR3, Ryan Flournoy. The future. A 2024 sixth-round pick who outperformed Tolbert last year and is now being groomed as the WR2 of the future. The coaching staff is building around him. Don't sleep on Flournoy. WR4, Turpin. The explosive playmaker and return specialist. His offensive role is debated but his value on special teams is undeniable. There was talk about releasing him to save cap space, $3.4 million, but that number isn't big enough to justify losing his playmaking ability. He's staying. WR5, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Veteran depth. 6 feet 4 inches. Ran a 4.37 40. Had success with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Now trying to prove he still has something left at 31 years old. Low guaranteed money on his deal, which tells you everything about his roster security. WR6/bubble, Jonathan Mingo, Tyler Johnson, Anthony Smith, 2026 draft pick, Jordan Hudson, Romello Brinson, Jaden Smith, Trayshawn Holden. This is a massive competition. Multiple players fighting for 1 to 2 spots. Someone unexpected is going to emerge from this group. That's the beauty of training camp. Let's spend real time on Pickens because this is the biggest storyline surrounding this entire receiver room. George Pickens is 25 years old. He had 1,429 receiving yards in 2025, third in the NFL, in his first season with Dallas. He also scored 9 touchdowns. He came from Pittsburgh where his relationship with the Steelers had completely broken down. Dallas traded for him and immediately unlocked his potential. He wanted a long-term deal this offseason. The Cowboys said no. Stephen Jones made it clear. Pickens plays on the franchise tag in 2026 at $27.3 million. That makes him the 17th highest paid WR in the league by AAV, which is honestly an insult to a player with his production. But the Cowboys had no choice. CeeDee Lamb is at $34 million. Dak Prescott is at $60 million. The cap math simply doesn't work right now. Here's what makes this dangerous. If Pickens goes out in 2026 and has another 1,400-yard season, he could demand $35 million per year in free agency next offseason. That would make him and Lamb the highest-paid WR duo in NFL history, surpassing Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins on the Bengals. The Cowboys would either have to pay that number or let him walk. And walking in a star receiver after 1 year of historic production would be a catastrophic mistake. The pressure is on Jerry Jones and the front office to figure this out. But for now, Pickens is showing up, working hard, and Dak Prescott can't stop smiling when talking about him. So in 2026? This partnership works. Long term? Everything is still unsettled. Let's zoom out now. How does all of this receiver movement actually affect Dallas in 2026? The Cowboys went 7-9-1 in 2025. Their first season under Brian Schottenheimer. That was a disaster. The defense was historically bad. The offense had weapons but couldn't close games. So what changed this offseason? On offense, Lamb and Pickens are still there. That's still one of the deadliest WR duos in football. Flournoy is growing. The run game has Javonte Williams back on a 3-year deal. Dak Prescott has everything he needs to make this offense elite. On defense, complete overhaul. New defensive coordinator Christian Parker came in and rebuilt the entire structure. They drafted Caleb Downs, the top safety in the 2026 class, with the 11th overall pick. They signed Jalen Thompson at safety, Kobe Durant at cornerback, Rashawn Gary at edge rusher. They traded Osa Odigizua to San Francisco for a third-round pick and brought in Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark along the defensive line. This defense should not look anything like the 2025 disaster. The schedule is brutal, 27,980 miles of travel, fourth most in the NFL. They play internationally in Week 3 against Baltimore in Rio de Janeiro. 2 stretches of 3 games in 12 days. This is going to test the entire roster's depth and recovery. But Dallas believes they're built differently now. No contract drama. Pickens signed the tag. The locker room is described as the most peaceful it's been in years. If that peace translates to wins, the Cowboys could legitimately compete for the NFC East title, in a division that now has Philadelphia replacing A.J. Brown with a rookie. Speaking of the NFC East, let's talk about who Dallas is competing against. The Eagles just traded A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots for a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth. Brown is gone. That is massive. Philadelphia is now depending on Devonta Smith and rookie first-round pick Mekhi Lemon to replace Brown's production. 5,034 yards and 32 touchdowns since 2022. That is nearly impossible to replace in one off-season. The Eagles are vulnerable. Washington and the Giants are still rebuilding. This is genuinely a wide-open NFC East race. Dallas has the quarterback. Dallas has the receivers. Dallas has the rebuilt defense. If Schottenheimer takes the leap in year 2, the Cowboys could easily win this division. That Thanksgiving game against whoever comes to AT&T Stadium is going to be appointment television.